Today we have with us Viraj Mehta, Managing Director and Fund Manager of Equirus PMS. Equirus Long Horizon Fund was launched in October 2016 and is today one of the best performing small cap fund. Let us hear from Viraj more on Equirus portfolio management services. Welcome Viraj.
Thanks, Bhakti.
We were going through the returns of Equirus Long Horizon PMS available as on 31st July 2020. Despite coronavirus impact, your fund has generated 1 year return of approximately 40%, while benchmark is only 3.7%. And your fund is approximately 15% since inception. That's roughly 4 years, while the benchmark CAGR is flat. What is the secret sauce of your success and what has worked for you?
Thanks a lot, Bhakti, for that question. When we talk about Equirus, our fund, Equirus Long Horizon Fund, the idea remains to invest in companies where we think they are market leaders, but they are unknown to the market, they are under-discovered, and we stay with our conviction. We tend not to essentially look at what the market is doing or where the market preference is. So let's say market was extremely gung-ho on financials and banks and NBFCs since I think since 2016, 17 onwards till almost start of this year in March. We were essentially largely underweight in financials before that. We were actually accumulating few chemicals and pharmaceutical stocks before that. It was almost around 20-25% of our fund before COVID hit India. So we have largely taken companies and bets which were unpopular at that time because that is where we find maximum value. We do not want in our fund to chase momentum. So that's roughly what I think has worked for us. Just to put it into perspective, today actually we are selling most of our pharmaceutical stocks and our chemical stocks to essentially buy a lot of secured lending businesses, which we think today are extremely cheap. So they've always been slightly counter cyclical compared to the market.
Okay. So while you elaborated your Midas touch, curious to know what has worked for you and what has not worked for you in this fund.
So as I said, looking at companies which have been market leaders and which are gaining market share and which aren't exactly popular at that time, and buying them cheap and not overpaying makes a lot of sense to me and makes a lot of sense for our investors. That has worked for us. What has not worked is whenever we have essentially gone slightly down the quality curve in terms of businesses or in terms of management, generally because they were really cheap in terms of where their positioning was in the market, that value versus the discount market gives has generally not worked for us. But whenever we have bought market leaders at reasonable earnings of, let's say, 13, 14, 15 times earnings, has generally worked out well for us.
Right. Okay, while they say proof of the pudding is in the eating, you have generated a lot of wealth for the investors in the past. One question which most investors may have for you these days is, how well positioned is your portfolio to beat Corona blues?
So I think first of all, we have to look at companies which essentially survive and which do not have any balance sheet issues. So if you look at almost 80% of our portfolio, it will have it is 80-85% of our portfolio is non-financials with very little or no leverage on the balance sheet. So even if they will have to survive for 6-8 months of low income, low sales and essentially no income also, they will survive. If you survive, I think the competition is going to be far lesser 6 months, 8 months out. For example, in one of our pipe companies that we own, the competition has gone down so much that its market share has increased from 40% to 60% in last 6 months. If that kind of market share gain exists for almost, I would say, 30-40% of your companies, what you're going to look at a year out or a year and a half out is a completely different scenario in terms of profitability for most of these guys. So I would think none of our companies have any existential issues. Most of our companies are gaining market share, and the two lending companies that we own have one of the lowest leverage in their businesses, with around 4 to 4.5 times. Both have capital adequacy of more than 25%, and their NPAs are strictly controlled, and they both have secured lending businesses. So I do not see a problem with that, both of those businesses as well. So first, I would think survival is extremely important, and we see no challenge, and we see actually incremental market share gains for all of our companies, which is where I think big money will be made over next 2 years from here.
Okay, well, you recently launched the Equirus Multi-Cap Value Fund. Can you take us through your strategy on the same?
So the idea is to provide investors with an option to look at a larger cap fund with the same philosophy. So if you look at our philosophy of not paying up and looking at market leaders and smaller companies and doing very in-depth research and not churning the portfolio a lot, that has served our clients and us reasonably well over last 3 years. Now, we think the same philosophy can be applied to larger caps, where we essentially are not chasing momentum. We think that is a very differentiated approach compared to a large portion of the market. I wouldn't say that there aren't any other funds like that, but we are in a minority today, those who don't want to chase momentum. So if we want to look at companies where we think the growth is going to be there, and they are reasonably priced, then Equirus Multi-Cap Fund is the place to be. Here, the volatility is going to be a lot lesser than the smaller companies fund, but the returns are risk-adjusted returns should still be far higher than the benchmark is what our belief is.
Thanks, Viraj, for giving us your insights on Equirus PMS, and all the best to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.